cousin. And there's a cousin Keanu, and I met.
And nobody said, we got a Keanu already. Maybe we should just stick with
Keanu
the one.
Reeves' life is often viewed through the lens of his films, but behind the action scenes, global fame, and iconic characters lies a deeply human story shaped by resilience, compassion, and quiet strength. His journey has included constant change in childhood, early struggles with learning, an unexpected shift from hockey to acting, and the steady climb toward becoming one of Hollywood's most respected figures. Along the way, he formed profound friendships, weathered personal heartbreak, rebuilt his career more than once, and earned admiration not through publicity, but through consistent kindness. This summary explores his life with empathy, focusing on growth, creativity, and the enduring goodness that defines him. Early life and family roots. Keanu Reeves' early years were shaped by movement, uncertainty, and an ongoing search for something that felt like home. Born in Beirut to a costume designer mother and a father who worked in geology, he entered the world surrounded by creativity and complexity. But his childhood quickly became defined by change. His mother's career meant relocating often, and each move brought a new beginning. New classrooms, different cultures, and unfamiliar neighborhoods. While this constant shifting could feel overwhelming, it also helped Keanu develop adaptability far beyond his years. Through it all, the family dynamic shifted too. His father's presence slowly faded from his life, leaving Keanu to navigate early responsibility and emotional independence. Yet the challenges also strengthened his connection to his sister, Kim, who became a steady presence through the chaos. His mother, juggling demanding jobs and multiple marriages, did everything she could to hold the family together. Despite the instability, these experiences allowed Keanu to explore artistic environments, meet creative people, and absorb the energy of a world rooted in performance and storytelling. Eventually, Toronto offered a sense of familiarity and calm, the closest thing he had to a permanent home. It was there that he learned how to stay grounded amid unpredictability, a trait that would serve him throughout his life and career. Through every upheaval, Keanu developed resilience, quiet empathy, and an ability to find himself no matter where he was placed, qualities that would one day define not only his work, but also the person he grew into. Navigating school challenges and building resilient school was a complicated chapter in Keanu Reeves' life, made even tougher by dyslexia, which turned reading into a daily uphill climb. Switching schools again and again because of family relocations meant he rarely had time to settle in or build lasting academic confidence. Each time he walked into a new classroom, he had to adjust all over again. New teachers, new classmates, and new expectations. It often left him feeling like an outsider, trying to catch up in a system that didn't fit the way he learned, but these struggles also shaped something profound within him. Instead of letting frustration define him, Keanu sought comfort in the things that made him feel alive, moving his body, performing, and creating. Sports became his refuge, allowing him to express himself in ways that didn't depend on textbooks or traditional learning styles. Acting, too, began to open its doors to him, giving him a place where individuality mattered more than academic rules. Leaving high school before graduation wasn't an act of defeat, it was a moment of clarity. Keanu recognized early that not every path to success follows the standard route. What some might have seen as a setback became a turning point, one that allowed him to pursue something that felt genuine and meaningful. The resilience he built during those challenging school years later became one of his most defining traits. He learned to trust his own rhythm, to navigate life creatively, and to find strength in the very places where others might expect weakness, hockey dreams, and an unexpected turning point. For a long time, hockey wasn't just a pastime for Keanu Reeves, it was the future he imagined for himself. Growing up in Toronto, where the sport is practically woven into the culture, he fell in love with the ice early and poured himself into every practice, every game, every opportunity to get better. His natural talent and determination made it easy to picture him moving toward a professional career. Hockey gave him structure, purpose, and a sense of belonging that school sometimes couldn't provide. But everything shifted when a significant injury forced him to stop and reconsider the path he thought he was destined for. Losing that dream was painful, a moment that could have easily discouraged him. Instead, it redirected him. What felt like an ending opened the door to acting, a field he might never have explored as deeply if hockey had continued to dominate his life. The discipline, teamwork, and perseverance he learned from the sport became tools he later used in his acting career, shaping the way he approached demanding roles and intense physical training. And even though his professional hockey aspirations faded, his love for the game never did. To this day, he still plays purely for the joy of it, carrying the lessons of those early years with him. That unexpected turning point became proof that life's biggest setbacks can sometimes be disguised beginnings, guiding him toward a path where he would eventually find purpose, recognition, and a global audience. First steps into acting. Keanu Reeves' journey into acting didn't begin with applause or spotlight. It grew quietly through small roles, local productions, and early television appearances that helped him discover both skill and passion. His first on-screen work in a Canadian TV series, along with commercials and youth-focused programs, allowed him to build confidence in front of the camera. He wasn't an overnight success, but he was learning the craft layer by layer. Stage performances, especially diving into Shakespeare, gave him a deeper appreciation for storytelling and emotional expression. Theatre demanded discipline and vulnerability, and Keanu embraced both with a seriousness that hinted at the actor he would become. During this time, he even considered changing his name to something more conventional, fearing that Keanu Reeves might seem too unusual in the industry. Yet he chose to stay authentic, a quiet but significant stand for self-identity. These early roles weren't glamorous, but they were essential. They gave him the space to experiment, to fail safely, and to grow. Each project, no matter how small, added a new layer of experience, teaching him how to connect with characters, adapt to different environments, and trust his instincts. This period wasn't about fame, it was about foundation. And without it, the remarkable career that followed wouldn't have had the same depth or sincerity. In these humble beginnings, Keanu discovered not just a profession but a lifelong calling, one that would eventually capture the hearts of audiences around the world, breakthrough roles and Hollywood's first glimpse of his depth. Before mainstream fame found him, Keanu Reeves began gaining attention for roles that revealed a thoughtful, emotionally grounded side of his talent. Films like River's Edge and Permanent Record confronted heavy themes, grief, moral conflict, and the complexity of youth, and Keanu approached them with quiet sincerity. Critics noticed that he brought something different to the screen, a kind of understated realism that made his characters feel relatable and human. These movies didn't make him a household name, but they showed casting directors and filmmakers that he was more than the carefree persona. Early audiences sometimes attached to him. He could handle difficult material with honesty and restraint, allowing emotion to come through naturally rather than forcing it. This period helped define his trajectory in Hollywood. It demonstrated that he wasn't just a type, he was an actor willing to stretch himself, to seek stories with depth, and to take creative risks. These early dramatic performances also laid the groundwork for the emotional clarity he would later bring to blockbuster roles. They proved he had range long before the world fully recognized it. While the spotlight had yet to find him, Keanu was quietly building a reputation among those who worked with him. A thoughtful performer, deeply committed and capable of delivering far more than audiences had seen. This stage of his career wasn't about stardom. It was about planting seeds that would later flourish into iconic roles across multiple genres, becoming a household name with Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was the moment that catapulted Keanu Reeves into mainstream recognition. The film's quirky charm, warm humor, and lovable characters struck a chord with audiences, and Keanu's portrayal of Ted became instantly memorable. His chemistry with co-star Alex Winter made the duo feel genuine, like friends people wish they had in real life. The movie wasn't expected to be a huge hit, but its playful tone turned it into a cultural phenomenon. Suddenly, Keanu found himself in the spotlight as the face of an unexpectedly beloved franchise. Sequels, merchandise, and even an animated series followed, elevating him into pop culture status. But with that success became a challenge. Many people started to associate him exclusively with the goofy, carefree image of Ted. It created a box that critics feared he might not escape. Instead of feeling trapped, Keanu embraced the role for what it was, a joyful chapter that brought people laughter, while keeping his focus on expanding beyond it. He understood that one character didn't have to define an entire career. The film opened doors, offered visibility, and introduced him to a global audience. Yet it was his steady determination to explore varied roles that ensured the world would eventually see the full range of his abilities. Bill and Ted didn't limit him. It launched him, and Keanu handled the newfound fame with the same grounded humility he carried long before anyone knew his name, reinventing himself through action in Point Break. Point Break marked a dramatic turning point for Keanu Reeves, giving him the opportunity to shed early typecasting and step boldly into the action genre. Playing Johnny Utah, an FBI agent who goes undercover with a group of thrill-seeking surfers, Keanu brought both intensity and emotional nuance to the role. The film was more than high-octane stunts. It explored loyalty, identity, and the pull between duty and desire. His on-screen dynamic with Patrick Swayze added depth to the story, blending adrenaline with genuine chemistry. This role allowed Keanu to showcase how physically committed he was willing to be. He trained rigorously, performed challenging stunts, and proved that he could anchor an action film with authenticity rather than relying solely on spectacle. Audiences responded enthusiastically, and Hollywood took notice of his transformation. The success of Point Break revealed a new dimension of Keanu's talents. He wasn't just capable of playing sensitive or comedic characters, he could embody a compelling action hero with heart. The movie became a stepping stone to even larger opportunities and set the stage for some of the most iconic roles in his future. More importantly, it showed Keanu's willingness to evolve, take risks, and push past expectations. In Point Break, he didn't just reinvent himself. He expanded what people believed he could be: Speed and the rise of a major action star. When Speed hit theaters, it didn't just succeed, it exploded into a cultural moment, and Keanu Reeves was at the center of it. Playing Jack Traven, a determined police officer trying to stop a bomb-laden bus from detonating, Keanu delivered a performance that blended heroism with humanity. He portrayed Jack not as an invincible action figure, but as a grounded, steady presence who cared deeply about the people he was trying to save. His chemistry with Sandra Bullock added heart and warmth to the film's relentless pace, helping turn an intense thriller into an unexpectedly emotional experience for viewers. The film's massive success transformed Keanu into a full-fledged global action star. Yet, what stood out was his decision to decline the sequel, a move few actors at his level would make instead of choosing easy fame or financial gain. He prioritized projects that challenged him artistically. That choice spoke volumes about his values and integrity, reinforcing the idea that his career would be guided by intention rather than impulse. Speed marked a defining moment. It showed audiences and Hollywood alike that Keanu could lead blockbuster hits with grace, commitment, and emotional depth. And while it set the stage for even bigger action roles ahead, it also highlighted something essential. Behind every high-speed chase and explosive moment was an actor who cared deeply about the craft, the story, and the humanity at the heart of every character he played. Dedication to training and redefining modern action. Keanu Reeves' preparation for the John Wick films became legendary, not because it was flashy, but because it was genuine. When he signed on to play John Wick, he committed fully to embodying the character's physical reality. For months, he immersed himself in training, weapons handling, martial arts, judo, jiu-jitsu, close-quarters combat, and advanced stunt driving. Videos of his training sessions later amazed fans, showing him moving with precision and respect for every aspect of the craft. What set Keanu apart wasn't just skill, it was humility. He approached every lesson like a student eager to learn, always thanking his trainers, respecting stunt teams, and acknowledging their essential contributions. His insistence on performing most of his own stunts added authenticity and emotional weight to the films. Viewers weren't watching a distant double, they were watching Keanu himself, fully present in the action. As the franchise grew more ambitious, he met each new challenge with the same relentless dedication. His work ethic influenced not just the tone of the films, but the modern action genre as a whole. Directors, actors, and stunt coordinators frequently credit him with pushing the standard forward. The success of the John Wick franchise, its choreography, intensity, and emotional grounding, is a testament to that unwavering commitment. Through effort, passion, and respect for his collaborators, Keanu helped elevate action cinema to new heights, proving that authenticity and hard work still resonate deeply in an industry often driven by shortcuts. The physical reality of an action career. After decades of performing demanding action roles, Keanu Reeves has openly acknowledged that his body now carries the weight of years of intense work training. For films like The Matrix and John Wick pushed him beyond the limits of typical action performance. He embraced martial arts, stunt work, and high-impact physicality that many actors his age, and even younger, would avoid. But with time, even the strongest dedication meets the reality of wear and tear. Keanu has spoken honestly about the physical toll these roles have taken. He feels the aches more deeply now, recovers more slowly, and recognizes that future projects must respect the limits of his well-being. This doesn't come from reluctance, but from wisdom. He loves the work, and he still lights up when discussing action filmmaking, but he is also mindful. He knows that caring for his body is essential if he wants to continue performing meaningfully, whether in action or quieter roles. His honesty about these limitations reflects a new phase of his life, a season defined not by pushing endlessly forward, but by balancing ambition with sustainability. While fans continue to hope for more John Wick films, Keanu remains transparent, hopeful, yet cautious. Regardless of what comes next, his legacy in the genre is undeniable. He has already reshaped modern action cinema, and nothing can take away the dedication, innovation, and heart he poured into every moment on screen, enduring friendships and the power of connection. Throughout his career, Keanu Reeves has built friendships rooted not in fame, but in sincerity and shared humanity. One of the most meaningful of these connections was his bond with River Phoenix. They met while working on My Own Private Idaho, and their friendship grew quickly into something profound. River understood Keanu in a way few others did. They shared curiosity about the world, a love for artistic exploration, and a deep respect for authenticity. Their friendship was private, gentle, and grounded in mutual trust, rare qualities in the entertainment industry. River's passing was a heartbreaking loss for Keanu. It wasn't something he spoke about publicly or exploited for attention. Instead, he honored their connection quietly, carrying the memory with him in a way that shaped his compassion and emotional perspective. Those who work with Keanu often describe him as present, caring, and deeply considerate, traits that reflect how seriously he values genuine relationships. His ability to remain humble in an industry built on ego stems partly from connections like the one he shared with River. These friendships remind him of what truly matters: people, honesty, kindness, and shared experience. While fame can create distance, Keanu chooses closeness with those he trusts. His bonds endure because they are built not on celebrity, but on heart love, loss, and strength of heart. Keanu Reeves' personal life has been shaped by profound love and devastating loss, experiences that have given him a quiet emotional depth rarely seen in public figures. His relationship with Jennifer Syme was tender and meaningful, rooted in genuine affection and shared dreams for the future. Their journey together included moments of joy, but also a heartbreak that changed them both. The loss they experienced was unimaginable, and its impact echoed through Keanu's life in ways he never dramatized or put on display. When Jennifer passed away, the grief was overwhelming, yet Keanu handled it with the same grace and gentleness that define his character. He never turned his pain into spectacle. Instead, he chose reflection, compassion, and privacy. These experiences shaped his worldview profoundly. Rather than allowing sorrow to harden him, he leaned into empathy toward others and toward himself. he embraced gratitude for simple moments, kindness in daily interactions, and authenticity in relationships. People often note how present he is when speaking with someone, how he listens deeply and treats strangers with genuine warmth. Much of that comes from understanding how fragile life can be. Keanu's story isn't one defined by tragedy, but by the remarkable strength that comes from surviving it. His capacity to hold love and grief at the same time reflects a resilience born not from celebrity, but from humanity. His heart has carried both joy and pain, and from that mixture, he has created a life grounded in compassion, sincerity, and quiet courage. Kindness in everyday moments. While many people know Keanu Reeves for his iconic roles and public generosity, what truly defines him are the small, unplanned acts of kindness that happen when no one expects them. These moments, often witnessed by ordinary people rather than cameras, reveal a man who naturally gravitates toward compassion. He has been seen sitting on sidewalks, sharing food and conversation with individuals experiencing hardship, listening with the same attentiveness he would offer a longtime friend. On other occasions, he has quietly helped stranded drivers, offering assistance without drawing attention to himself or expecting anything in return. His choice to take public transportation long after becoming a global star reflects his down-to-earth nature. And even there, he treats people with simple respect, giving up his seat, helping someone with bags, or offering a warm smile to a stranger. What stands out is that these gestures are never performed for praise. Keanu doesn't broadcast them, nor does he try to curate a public persona around them. Instead, they come from a genuine instinct to meet others with dignity. He seems to see people clearly without the barrier of celebrity or hierarchy and interacts as one human being to another. These everyday signs of kindness have woven themselves into his public legacy, not because he seeks attention, but because people who witness them feel compelled to share how deeply they were touched. Keanu's gentle actions remind the world that kindness doesn't need a stage, and that true character is revealed in the quiet moments. A legacy built on heart. Keanu Reeves' legacy stretches far beyond the films he has starred in. His story is one of perseverance, kindness, and an unwavering commitment to living with authenticity. From a childhood filled with frequent moves and uncertainty, he learned early to stay grounded within himself. Throughout his career, he has faced highs and lows, reinventions and rediscoveries, but he navigated each chapter with humility and grace. His personal experiences, including profound loss, did not diminish his ability to show generosity or warmth. Instead, they deepened his empathy and shaped a worldview rooted in compassion. What makes Keanu truly remarkable is the consistency of his character. Whether he is performing complex roles, supporting a family, quietly giving to charity, or offering a simple act of kindness to a stranger, he does so from the same genuine place. His success is not defined solely by box office numbers or iconic characters, but by the gentle humanity that radiates from all he does. People admire him not just because he is talented, but because he is sincere. Keanu Reeves has become a symbol of integrity in an industry where authenticity can be rare. His legacy is a reminder that strength and softness can coexist, that fame does not have to change one's values, and that compassion can leave an impact greater than any performance. Through every reinvention and every challenge, he has remained a steady, kind-hearted presence. Proof that true greatness is built on heart, not headlines.